Hi, Esther. Welcome to Diaspora Unplugged. My name is G Silent Gladys Buok, and this is a podcast where we showcase diaspora achievements, where we also address challenges and whatever advice they can give to new coming diaspora. So please tell us your name, your country of origin, and your occupation.
Great. Thank you very much, Gladys, for having me here, and nice to connect with you again. And I was born and raised in Kenya, Nairobi. And I left Kenya when I was 24 years old. And I lived in the Cayman Islands. I went there for work. Cayman Islands is a British colony, it means it's a Commonwealth, like Kenya. So it's under the Commonwealth, and by that time it was ruled by the Queen, the late Queen. Now it's under the King. And I stayed there for a couple of years, 6 years. And after 6 years, I went to Syschelles, which is also very close to Kenya. Syschelles, this is in the Indian Ocean. And after that, my family and I went to Dubai. And we lived in Dubai for about 2 years. In Syschelles, we lived 3 years. Cayman Island, 6 years, and 2 years in Dubai. And I've been living in Germany now for close to 5 years in the Frankfurt area.
Oh, then thank you very much and willkommen zu dieser Sendung.
Dankeschön.
Yes, and so what is your occupation, Esther, if I may ask?
My occupation first was in the hospitality industry, in the wellness. And while I was doing the wellness, because Cayman Islands is a it's financial haven. So if a lot of people know Cayman Islands, that's where there was a financial haven. So while I was doing the hospitality, I went ahead and did a degree in finance.
Yes.
Business administration and finance. So in between, so I moved from wellness and I became an executive assistant, where I worked there in Syschelles, where I was the executive assistant to the general manager. Then in Dubai, I worked with a couple of companies and clients, where I was assisting them with the calendaring. So if you know executive assistants, you know what our world is. And when we moved there, I took a gap year where I had to raise our children, gap years, where I had to raise our children and get integrated in Germany. Because as you know very well, when you move to Germany, it's not like the other countries where I have been, where it was fluid to speak English, and you could get a job and you speak English and there's no integration. You just learn the culture and find your Kenyans and continue with life. However, in Germany, you have to integrate, where I had to learn some German languages and the classes. So I took that time when I was having our children. I took that time to get integrated with the German culture, the German language, the way of living as we raise our children. And also I did you also have to do like driving classes. And then now I'm back to doing executive consulting company. I have a small company here and I do that. And I also do I'm back in hospitality, within the hospitality industry and the golfing industry. So which is also under the same umbrella as hospitality, if you like to say. So I'm more of the executive consulting side.
Okay, we will now. You've mentioned like 3-4 spaces where you are in.
Yes.
Let us go one by one. Okay, like in the hospitality, what are you doing exactly in the hospitality?
Yes, I am a reservations consultant, coordinator, reservations coordinator. So if you, for example, Gladys, book a room in one of the Marriotts in Frankfurt, we are the people who make sure that your room is booked when you said you want to check in and when you said you want to check out. And then when check out, we coordinate with the accountants and make sure that the credit card you gave is through, and it went through and it actually worked. So we are those people. Reservations.
Okay, that is now the first one. And I think you're really doing a very good job, because hospitality is really a passion. It's not
a
something
passion.
that you just do. It's a passion,
Mm-hmm.
serving people, being able to serve people,
Mm-hmm.
and you've done it for a long time. That means it's your
Yeah.
love.
It
To,
is, yeah. I agree with
yes,
you. You have to, it's a calling. It's like you have to be a people person because you're dealing with people every day. So you have to be a
yes,
people person, and you have to learn how to deal with everyone because everyone has a different personality. And I have enjoyed working in the hospitality industry for about 14 years now. I have enjoyed.
yes,
Yeah.
and I think now that you mention it, also you said you were an executive assistant. That's
Mm-hmm.
also serving people.
People.
That's
Yes.
organizing
Yeah.
people. So tell us more about the second um, career path that you chose.
So when I was doing the executive assistant, I discovered I like order. I like organizing and just putting people into, say, this time you have to go here, and basically calendaring and being organized. And with that, because I couldn't do it here in Germany, and that's where I opened the executive consultant. That's where the umbrella is. I do PR. Say if you have a product, I like to promote because I am very active on the internet. So I like to promote, and that lies under the executive consultant.
Yes.
And another thing, I work with students, Kenyan students, African students who come here in Germany, and they don't have a CV, a cover letter. I'm very good in proposal writing. I love writing. I love working with Word document and turning it into a PDF. I love PowerPoints. And I have something that I create for them. It's a portfolio in English, and in German, it's a Werbungsmappe.
Yeah, Bewerbungsmappe, yeah, that is exactly what the people need to start
Yep.
their career. You
To
know, they
start
need a
their career.
portfolio, Bewerbungsmappe.
Yep.
And if they have somebody who
Mm-hmm.
organizes this, it
Mm-hmm.
means you also dress them up because the
I
Bewerbungsmappe. So do
mm-hmm.
you also do that? Maybe you can tell us in detail what
Mm-hmm.
exactly you do when you are
Yes.
organizing the Bewerbungsmappe.
So when I write somebody's, I don't write their CV, because when somebody is doing to a master's level, they have to have a CV in place. So they send it to me, and I put it into a modern template, and I put their certificates together. And when I put that into a portfolio, it doesn't end there. When they're going for an interview, I make sure I call them and I ask them, let's arrange and see. We do like how we're doing a call, and I want to
Yes.
see how they're dressed, and to just advise them. Image consultant as well. Image consulting, because if you remember, if I mentioned I was working in the wellness industry, so which means I did a lot of makeup, nails, and looking presentable in general. So
Yeah, and
I
also
help people.
and also creating an impact. You know, like with your T-shirt, I
Exactly.
can see Africa. I can see
Yes,
Africa. So
yes.
this creating an impact.
Creating an
And
impact.
yes, yes.
Mhm.
Now we've talked about the two
Mhm.
paths you've chosen, and you mentioned a third one. Yeah,
Yeah. A
that
third
is,
one.
I
Mhm.
think, the insurance or something. You mentioned another one.
Yes, I do insurance as well. Diaspora insurance, it's called.
Yes,
It is a funeral cash plan for where, if an African is deceased here in Germany, or in diaspora, in the countries that I lived, in Cayman, in Dubai, in Syschelles. This company, what we have, the funeral cover, it covers up to 15,000 or 20,000 euros or US dollars, which is enough to send this person who is deceased back home to their
yes,
family, because most
yes.
of the people, this is their wish to be taken back home, and it's costly, as we know. And as diasporans, we are trying now to help each other, advise, to keep each other in the know, that we should
Yes.
have something in place that makes us, we as diasporans, have peace of mind while we live outside of our countries. in Kenya or
And
Zimbabwe.
if I understand right, this is a global insurance.
Yes,
It's for people living worldwide, and there's no limit. How much does it cost?
there
That
is
sounds like a very expensive plan.
no, it's actually not. It's actually not at all. So what we do, we give you a quote where you enter your age. And based on your age, I'm going to use two examples. I have a client who I just signed up, and he's 22. So he pays only 9 euros towards, and he's going to have a claim of 15,000 euros. That if
Yes.
anything happens to him, his family can claim 15,000, and it's going to cover for everything towards this person.
Yes.
Another example is someone who is above 35, 40. I'm in the 40, I'm 40, so I pay 12 euros 75 cents per month.
Yes.
Which is only me. If I want to cover the entire family, I have another one who pays 32 euros per month. And they will get the 20,000 because that's their wish, because probably they're not from Nairobi. Maybe they have to, when they arrive to Nairobi, they have to be taken to the upcountry, to let's say Machakos, Kisii, or Nyeri, which is far, or Murang'a, which is far from Nairobi. So all that, we call it in Swahili gharama.
Yes.
So it covers for the expenses. Gharama is expenses, which
Okay.
yeah, absolutely number one ambassador for this. Everyone who is in the diaspora should have something in place for this purpose.
Now a short question just to follow up.
Sure.
Do you also do other insurances? Like a lot of people who travel, there's this travel cover, like 3 months. Let's say, like when I invite people from my family to come here, in order for them to get a visa, they also need cover. They also need this travel cover.
Yeah.
Do you also cover that in your diaspora insurance package?
That's a very, very good question, because everyone asks this question. Unfortunately, Diaspora Insurance, which is based in the UK, it's a 10-year company, but it only covers for funeral cash plan at the moment. The main purpose is for us to make sure all the diasporans have this one. So at the moment, this is the only thing it's covered for. It covers for at the moment. In the future, they'll probably do life insurance, but it's not covering medical. It's not covering travel insurance. Not at the moment. Yeah, but that's a very good question, because everyone asks that. Yeah.
And now let's come to you. You are a businesswoman, executive assistant. You are working as in the hospitality. You are also doing insurance. And as I know, you mentioned that you're also a mother.
I am.
How do you get all these three things or four things done?
I don't know if I mentioned I wear many hats, and one of those hats is mommy and a wife. Yes, I for some reason I think I get grace that comes from above, and or from the universe, and everything happens so well because I think keeping order. As you remember, I said I really plan everything. At this particular time, I have to do this. And if that time comes and I haven't finished what I was doing, I have to stop it to maybe take care of the children. And lucky both of them, I have an 8-year-old. We have an 8-year-old and a 3-year-old. So both of them go to school. And in the morning, I do a lot between they go to school. Here in Germany, as you know, there's a rhythm where 7:30 children have to go upstairs and start brushing their teeth and come down, and in between as well, you have to take them out in nature. So I do fit in this, but when they sleep at night, then again I start and I do something before. Yeah, so I don't have, when I hear people say Netflix and chill, where they just watch a Netflix movie and chill, I personally choose not to have that, and use the extra time to do something valuable, so to say, if I choose a word.
Yeah, for the global viewers, let me just explain. In Germany, we are not able to have nannies or this kind of house help, or I don't know how you call it in wherever you are.
House manager.
In Germany, we do it ourselves. That
Yeah,
means we have to organize how the children go to clubs because we have our school ends at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. So in the afternoon, the children go to clubs, and you have to organize as a mother how you're dropping them, taking them everywhere, and being able to do as much as Esther is doing right now. It's really grace and being very structured.
very
One has to
structured.
be really structured
Mm-hmm.
to do this kind of things. And I take off my hat for
Thank
you
you.
for organizing this.
Yeah.
What could you advise any new diaspora who is coming to Germany? What would be your word of advice?
Yeah, my number one word of advice would be read a lot about the German culture, the German way of living. And while doing that, learn a little bit of German. Learn a little bit of German because when you get here, you will need it. You will need it. Like when I got, before I did a little bit A1 in Dubai in Goethe Institute. Then when I came here, I went for the intense course where I did the 6 months. You do that one, and then you do the integration where you learn the German law, where you learn the Grundgesetz, and you get that certificate. Once you get that, you're set to go in Germany, and then learn, like, go to the internet as well, see what's happening around me. Like, I live in
Yes.
Frankfurt. Check what's happening around me in connection to Africa. Recently, we had an event where we did the Gikuyu Mombi House of Mombi at the Nairobi restaurant in Eshbon. That was a fantastic event to show our children how our culture is. And it wasn't just the Gikuyus. We had friends from the lakeside. We had Akisi. We had people. And because every month, Jillian, the owner of Nairobi restaurant, she holds a cultural event based on where one is from. It could be Kisii night, Luo night, Luya night, Meru, all this, up to
Please tell us
Minjikenda.
Please tell us a little bit more about the Kikuyu night because I saw that in the news in
Mm-hmm.
Eventbrite
Yeah.
because in Eventbrite they have this kind of thing,
Mm-hmm.
and afterwards I saw the pictures of how beautiful you were dressed or the people were dressed in the African attire. Just tell us a little bit more so that we can understand about your tradition and how you're bringing it to the German
Yeah. So
culture.
next time when I come here, I will bring the lady who hosted it. Her name was Jockey. And she was basically telling a story of how Gikuyu was founded between the Gikuyu and Mumbi, who are the mothers of the Gikuyu culture. So she had her own presentation, and not everyone, whoever has a Kikuyu regalia, the women had the Kikuyu regalia with the big earrings, and then the men had this fluffy hat which shows the Kikuyu man. It was very colorful. We had calabashes where we had this fermented porridge and people had to taste. And then we had the black beans, which is called jahe. So it was a it was a Kikuyu, a little bit of Kikuyu. And then, of course, Gillian had the Kenyan culture food. But basically, it was the Kikuyu music that was playing and people could enjoy. And it wasn't only for Kikuyus. As I said, there were so many Germans as well who came because as much as we are interested in their culture, they are also very interested in our culture. And if they can have Africa while in Germany, they take that opportunity so much. Like in summer as well, we go to the African festival in Würzburg, and you would think it's only the Germans because they want to experience Africa here in Germany. Mm-hmm.
Okay. And
Mm-hmm.
how is your social network? How do you have time to socialize, or do you have a kind of social network that you can tell us
Mm-hmm.
about?
Um, Personally, where I live, we have I live in Bad Homburg, right outside of Frankfurt. We have a Kenyan evening every end of the month. We have a Kenyan, it's called Meet and Greet. And the chairman of this is called Dr. James Karanja. I think a lot of people know him. So he organizes that, he organizes a location, and we, the women, we take over the dishes. We say who's gonna bring this, and everybody everybody brings something from their culture. So we all look forward. There's no Friday and weekend here. That's only strictly for family. But at the end of the month, all the Kenyans, with the friends of Kenyans, so it's not just Kenyans, we all bring our food, and then the men do the grilling, and we all eat together. We sing Kenyan music, and the children they play with the other Kenyan children. And the ones who are mixed with the Kenyan and German, they get to interact with the Kenyans completely. So they feel at home, away from home. So the social life, I would say, we look forward to those events, those small events that happen in between the years.
So Esther, it has been so nice to have you. But before you leave,
yes,
I would like you to shout out to the Kenyan diasporas that you're assisting. Maybe in your traditional language, you can shout out a welcome and how you can help them and what you can do for them.
Yeah, but before I say that, I want to say you are doing an amazing job on the diaspora. You can say it again for me.
Diaspora Unplugged. That is a showcasing network.
Yes.
And thank you.
Yes. I'm going through your page. I'm following your page. So I hope there's so many things that will come. So I'm excited for that. So I would like to tell the diasporans who live here or outside of Germany, get yourself a village, a family here, because it can get a bit lonely if you say, I am going to stay alone in a small village, or I'm going to stay alone in a big city. Get yourself a village. We like to say, get yourself a crowd, people, friends, and integrate. Learn what they're going through, because we all tend to think, oh, I'm going through this alone, I'm so far away. No, we listen to other people. Join Facebook groups. Like there's the Kenyan women in Germany. Join the African moms in Germany on Facebook. And then follow pages like your page, the Diaspora Unplugged. Diaspora Unplugged on Facebook, on Instagram, which I'm sure we are going to put it in this page. And then get to integrate yourself with Africans. I don't like to say Kenyans alone, with Africans. So tafadhali na wasihi muingie kwa vikundi za wamama, vikundi za watoto. Also we have tuko na AG Career Hub. Caroline, she does an amazing job where she train with professionals, Kenyan professionals in Germany, and business owners. So if there's a job, that's where it's being posted. Like in your company, when you have a job coming up, you post there, and an African who is studying or has the qualifications that they get to apply. So there's so many things that we can survive here in Germany as diasporans.
Yes, exactly, viewers. Caroline Mwangi is doing a great job. Esther Bornefeld is really doing a great job. Shout out to Caroline. Thank you for bringing me together with Esther. I would not have met Esther if it was not Caroline.
That's where we met. Yes.
Yeah, we met on Caroline Mwangi's platform. Thank you so very much.
Yeah.
And I think we are going to meet a lot of other diasporians from Kenya, from all over the world. We are going to showcase everything. There's always room for improvement. Viewers, we're here to stay. We are here to learn, comment, encourage us, help us to grow, and to be able to be a bigger network. Thank you, Esther. Thank you, and we will be talking together.
And I commend your whole look. I love, as an image consultant, I have to commend your whole look, your African earrings and the coat. I always say, put on a coat on top of a top and your look will look complete. So
thank you so much.
Great
job. Thank you, Esther, and have a good evening. Yeah,
And
thank
you
you.
too,
Thank you.
Gladys. Thank you very much for having me in your platform.
Yeah,
Kwaheri.
thank you.
Kwaheri.
Kwaheri.
Say,
Asante
yeah.
sana, kwaheri.
Asante.
Yeah,
Kwaheri.
yeah, yeah.